Hello everyone, welcome to Math Talk. I'm your host Brian Heisler, and today we're going to talk about how to simplify rational expressions. So let's get started. So I'm going to jump right into a couple of examples, and I'm going to do different types of operations with simplifying rational expressions. The first one is we're going to look at how to simplify expressions with multiplication. So a rational expression is something that has basically a square root symbol. So a square root of 20 times the square root of 4. And what I like to do basically is start by multiplying the numbers underneath the square roots and then treating it as one rational number and simplifying that. So 20 times 4 is going to be 80. So I need to simplify the square root of 80. And in a previous video, we looked at how to do this by creating factor trees and going from there. So I'm going to approach it that way. What I want to do is take two numbers that multiply together to get 80 and just keep simplifying down. So let's do 8 times 10. I'm going to keep going because I want to find out any prime numbers, any numbers I can't simplify any further. So I can do this is 4 times 2, and this is 2 times 5. Okay? 4 I can continue to break down because that's 2 times 2. The other ones I can't break down any further because they are prime. So now once I have all my simplified numbers, I want to find pairs of numbers and take one number from each pair. So I have a pair of 2's here, another pair of 2's, and then a plain old 5 that I can just leave alone. I take one number from each pair and put it on the outside of my square root. And then underneath my square root, I take whatever numbers are left over, in this case 5. Now the one number from each pair, in this case a 2 and a 2, I multiply those together and I get my number on the outside. So the final simplified version of square root 20 times square root 4 is 4 root 5, or 4 times the square root of 5. Okay, let's take a look at how you can simplify rational expressions where you add or subtract them. So I have two different examples up here. As you can tell, they're the same number, square root 18 plus square root 8, and square root 18 minus square root 8. And I'm going to actually just look at the addition side because really the simplification process is the same. The only difference is at the end, you either add the numbers or subtract the numbers. So I'm going to tackle this one on the left, and then maybe you can try and look at the one on the right on your own and practice it. So what I want to do is the same idea. I want to factor out these numbers and simplify them down as much as I can. So square root 18, that's like 9 times 2. And let's see, square root 8 is 4 times 2. Okay? I'm going to keep the plus sign in the middle because I am adding these two. 9 I can break down even further. 3 times 3. And drop down to 2. And then I'm going to have this plus sign in the middle. And then 4 I can break down into 2 times 2. And then times another 2 that I'm just bringing down. Okay, so I want to look for pairs of numbers now. So on the left half, I have a pair of 3's. And on the right half, I have a pair of 2's. So I'm going to take one number from each pair and put it on the outside. So 3 root 2 is left on the inside, plus take one of my 2's, put it on the outside, and then put whatever is left over on the inside, in this case a 2. So now I've simplified each of my square roots. The key is that when you add or subtract rational numbers, you want to look for any numbers that have the same root. In this case, root 2, root 2. These are basically like variables. If I have 3 root 2's and I add 2 root 2's, then together I have 5 root 2's. And this is actually my final answer. Because what happens is you can basically take the number on the outside of the roots and add them together, or subtract them together if you have a subtraction problem. So like I said, I'm going to leave this one up for you guys to practice and try it out and see what you get as your final answer. So I hope that helps you out when you look at simplifying rational numbers. Remember, if you are multiplying rational numbers, go ahead and multiply the numbers together on the inside and then break it down. If you're adding or subtracting rational expressions, break down each rational number and then look for common roots and then either add them or subtract them together. Thanks for watching. If you have any other questions or you need assistance and you live in the Palm Beach County area, visit our website at geds.com to find a location near you and sign up for classes.